Happy New Year, buddies. Hey, it's Concert Buddy. This video is going to be a quick one, fingers crossed. I'm going to walk through my New Year's resolutions pertaining to my vinyl collecting obsession. What are they? See you after the break. You're like a lot of us. Turning of the calendar to the new year offers an opportunity to reflect, to project, and to change certain things. And every year that I've had this channel, I've kind of kicked it off with a vinyl resolutions, air quotes, video. How have I done in those resolutions? Not bad, but I think it offers an opportunity to kind of realign or refocus how I'm going to try to continue to add to my collection in 2024. And it can be something as silly as use better inner sleeves. I think that was something I had on my first vinyl resolutions video. If you look at that, it's cringeworthy.
But who's gonna fill his shoes? These right here is gonna fill them.
It also is an opportunity to kind of reflect on how I did in the previous year, and if there's things that I'm still kind of enhancing, modifying, etc. in terms of my approach for looking for records or how much I'm buying or that kind of stuff. So, word salad brings us to here, 2024 vinyl resolutions.
Here we go.
So vinyl resolution, numero uno, number one, I'm bilingual, is I'm going to seek what I'm going to call top tier copies.
Yeah.
For most of my record collecting journey, it's pretty rare I'll bring in doubles unless there's some kind of like reissue that's like an audiophile reissue or something special, color grading, etc. But I'm going to make a more conscious choice here in the new year of looking for like the best of the best. And I've got a couple of influences in the community like Mr. Hall of Fame, Brandon, and a couple other folks who've really kind of pushed me in this direction indirectly about making sure that that copy of blank, Fleetwood Mac Rumors, Toto, whatever, is the best of the best. It's best jacket, best condition vinyl, etc. So I'm going to kind of really lean into, I'm being literal. I'm going to lean into top tier copies of things I see and things I have. So, and the good news is with top tier, or if you're looking for like the best of the best, it could have hype stickers, shrink, etc. You can also move off the copies you already have. So there'll be a little give and take when it comes to that. So top tier copies is something that I'm going to really lean into in 2024.
I hate this bastard.
Another one I'm going to kind of focus on for 2024 is less impulse buys. I don't know about you, but I am really, really bad about buying records that I am a little unfamiliar with or things that aren't exactly in my kind of normal vein, my tastes, etc. And I do this a lot, honestly, late at night, can't sleep, I'll throw up the device and I go shopping, or I'll just go looking, right, browsing. And I found myself last year, and I kind of finally became aware of it. I was doing a lot of browsing and then consequently a lot of converting on things that maybe I probably wouldn't have done in the morning or the next day or whatever. It was just kind of, call it weariness, call it grogginess, call it stupidity, call it all the above. And I was buying some records that probably I wouldn't have brought into my collection. So with that kind of comes a renewed focus on a little bit more fiscal discipline and less impulse buys. Now, it doesn't mean I can't try something new. It doesn't mean that if somebody whose opinion I value gives me a good recommendation, I'm not going to buy it. No, nothing like that. It's more of quit buying stuff just to buy stuff. Does that make sense?
You know, I think we kind of went into the game too, like a ago.
So this third resolution for 2024, vinyl resolution, is something that kind of came to me here late, but it's something I've noticed. And I got to preface this by saying that it's a really great time to be a record collector. The labels, the pressing plants, outside of quality control issues, there's so much good things going on in the hobby and collecting and records of art. What I'm noticing is there's just so many reissues, and it can be color variants, cover variants, new mixes, audiophile repress, you name it.
Ask anybody in the industry.
And I gotta start sitting these things out, because you have to ask yourself after a while, unless it's like your favorite artist or a favorite band or a favorite album, how many copies of one particular title do you need? Do you need the mobile fidelity one step? Do you need the craft small batch? Do you need, I could go on and on. Do you need the Walmart color variant? Do you need the 40th anniversary edition? Do you need the, goodness gracious, there's so many. I saw one the other day that really was just like, that's what kind of stopped me in my tracks. They're reissuing another Gets Gilberto album. If you don't have an original, I have one, but if you don't have an original, there's plenty of other really good reissues that you can find. If you do enough research, you can find it. But it's like every year, another Gets Gilberto reissue. So that's a big word salad of saying that. It kind of woke me up to, there's so many reissues. I'm going to be more intentional about the reissues I actually want to buy, that I actually do buy. And consequently, I'm going to lean back into more originals. More, because that's kind of the foundation of, years ago, I made this giant Discogs want list. And it was heavily layered, comprised of OGs. And I need to stick to that, because that's part of what, for me, makes the hunt fun. Like, the hunt isn't as fun as if you can just go up, bebop, boobop, pull it up on your phone and buy it. And that was kind of one of my resolutions, I think, last year, was buy less online, which I did make a conscious effort to, contrary to the old resolution number 2 of buying things late at night. But the long and the short of it is, I just haven't had enough of the reissues, but I've just become aware, like Neo, unplugging from the Matrix. There's just so many reissues, and that's not a bad thing. It's a good thing for a lot of people. But for the way I want to collect for my collection, I really want to be intentional with, again, space is limited. I'm starting to run out of space. But I just want to bring in the best of the best. It goes back to that top tier thing. So, and a lot of times, to me, that's original pressings. So have fun with the reissues. I'm not saying I'm not going to buy reissues, but I'm going to buy less reissues and more originals in 2024.
But swallow it, you most certainly motherfucking will.
So another resolution that kind of kicks back to last year, and I've kind of done a better job, but not as good as I'd probably like to be, is I'm going to try to get out more, not just to my locals, but also outside of my immediate area. It could be record shops, it could be antique places, and it could be record shows. And I've gone to the Austin Record Show, for example, the last 3 years. I think I'm going to sit this year out. I may drive for the spring show, but I don't know. I'm definitely going to try the WFAN show, or at WFMU show in New York. It's at the end of, I think, October, beginning of November. So I'm really that's one I'm going to definitely try to go to. But I'm going to try to get out to different shows to kind of get a taste of what different areas have to offer. And that could mean something as simple as driving 3 to 5 hours to Indianapolis or Minnesota or Ohio or whatever. But I definitely want to kind of get out of my little bubble, because, I'm sure you guys experience this too, is that different areas have different focuses or different bountiful options of, say your area has a lot of country records, or your area has a lot of soul records or R&B, hip hop, etc. So I already kind of know what my particular area really is a heavy concentration of, but I want to get out and find some more of that in other places. So that comes with more travel, it comes with more expense. So there's a lot of that recipe involved, but really want to get out more, because again, one of my favorite feelings and one of the things that makes the hobby continue to be rewarding to me is finding these awesome records, finding the oh shit moment records in the wild. So that's something I'm going to really get back to basics in 2024.
I've got one! I've got a special purpose!
Last one. The last resolution, and this is kind of where my list started, is I'm going to give more and buy less. Now, before you start Suicide Watch, it's nothing like that. It's more of one thing that as I've gotten older in my personal life and even record collecting, is I really get jazzed by giving away records, or giving records to people who I think will really enjoy them. And sometimes those miss like a dud, but it was the thought that counts, and thinking of somebody, caring enough to send them something. It's not even about paying for the shipping. It's not even about using it's not even like anything like that. It's more of thought of you, thought you might enjoy this, found this, particularly used records, found this, it's better off with you. So I'm really going to try. And again, emphasis, all these is about trying. It's goals, it's ambitions, and sometimes things don't work out for a lot of different reasons, right? So that's why, like, you know, my New Year's resolutions, I'm going to get swole up and I'm going to get jacked and I'm going to quit eating red meat and all that stuff. It's a recipe for failure if you don't have intentionality, if you don't have discipline, etc., etc., etc. So this one in particular, about giving more and buying less, it's just a mindset. So it doesn't mean I'm not going to buy records. It doesn't mean I'm not going to bring new records in my collection. It just means that, you know, I've got a stockpile of records that are doubles, that are copy replacements, going back to the top tier idea. I think they'd be better off with other people. Now, that means I can probably sell some, and, you know, it doesn't mean I'm not going to be doing the usual maneuvers that a record collector will do, but in the end, I enjoy giving gifts. I hate, when I say hate, I'm really bad at receiving gifts. I appreciate people's generosity, I really do, but I'm the worst about receiving gifts because that's just not where my mind is. So anytime somebody gives me a gift, especially a gift like this, it's very intentional, like VCLT. Several people gave me VCLT last year, and I thanked them privately. I didn't do videos on all of them, and I apologize for that, but I'm just really bad about receiving gifts and the pomp and circumstance of it. Now, giving gifts, love it. Love giving gifts. So I'm gonna really focus more on that here in 2024.
Let me guess, you must be fucking rich.
Yeah, it's cool.
And that's it. Hopefully it's a quick video. I'll find out in the edit chamber if this turned out to be a small video or just one of my normal 10 to 15, 20 minuters. But buddies, tell me in the comments below. I'd really be curious, do you approach your record collecting like this, or do you approach anything like, what are your resolutions when it comes to how you collect records here in 2024? Do you have other ideas? I'd love it if you have, like, maybe you have a recommendation. I'll be like, boom, I'm gonna swap this out or just add it to my worldview of how I'm gonna approach adding records. Because again, space is limited, funds are finite. I'm not Richie Rich. I'm not independently wealthy. I've got to be smart with my dollars like a lot of people. And for a long time, there's been some records I'll buy with the direct intention to move them on, sell them, to then subsidize something else, right? So that's not gonna stop. That's just how I've been collecting records for over a decade. But in terms of these things, giving more and buying less, seeking top tier, like, I think these are reasonable things. I think these things will make my collection tighter, more purposeful, more intentional. And guess what? Last resolution, shocker, I'm gonna listen to more of my records.
Wow. Oh, wow, wow, oh, wow. Oh, wow, wow, oh, wow, wow.
That goes into the buy less area, is that the more I'm buying, the less time I have to listen to new records. So if you can relate to that, tell me in the comments below. I always appreciate you spending your time watching these videos, because I know I try to watch as many videos as I can, but we only have so much time in a day. Buddies, I want to wish you a happy, a terrific, a prosperous 2024. Even the haters, I hope you have a good year. And I mean that, because, you know what, no ill will. Even if you're of ill heart, I wish you no ill will. But buddies, listen to more of your records. And when you get the chance, just spin it. See you soon.
Well, well, well. How the turntables...
Well, we out of time.